We've seen the maps. We love the maps, but do we know the maps? Specifically, what's happening inside them. Yes, we know what the objective is, which is push the statue to the Hall of Djalia, but why are we pushing this statue? Why are we in this Hydra base? And what's happening in Midtown? I've read all the lore, so today I'm going to explain the story of every map in Marvel Rivals. First, let's start off with Asgard, with Yggdrasill's Path and Royal Palace. Both of these maps follow the same story arc, where Loki has taken over Yggdrasil by teaming up with Hela to banish Thor to Earth. Now, Loki is sapping the World Tree of its Chronovium, so that he can harness its magical time properties for his plot. The two separate maps are both telling the story of the same resistance group rising up against Loki, but different stages in the plan. In Royal Palace, we follow as Thor attempts to confront Loki by taking important landmarks. Those are Odin's Archive, where the history of Asgard and other important secrets are held, the Throne Room, which would naturally be an important location to take, and the Bifrost Gardens, which is the presumably only access point to the Bifrost, which, as we know, allows transportation to and from Asgard. Whether you win or lose, you will see the same animation of Thor landing in the throne room to confront his brother. However, Loki knows that this is not the important part of the resistance. The important part takes place on Yggdrasill's Path. There, we are playing as a resistance group led by Toothgrinder and Tooth Gnasher, which are the two giant goats, presumably from Thor Love and Thunder. They are guiding Stormbreaker to the World Tree to break the machine that is sapping it of its Chronovium. Now, any map needs some good agency. In this one, Stormbreaker is almost out of its thunder magic as Thor is not wielding him. And fun fact, if you are on offense, you can see Stormbreaker as it breaks free of a magical barrier that was holding it in the waiting area. On Yggdrasill's Path, if offense wins, it shows Stormbreaker making it to the World Tree and smashing Loki's sapper off of the base. If defense wins, we see Loki floating in the sky with a cheeky grin, knowing that the last stand against him has been defeated. Next, let's go to the 2099 Chronoverse with Spider Islands and Shin Shibuya, which are also both connected. Instead of the last two maps, which are similar events taking place simultaneously, these maps are directly connected one after the other. The overall conflict is between the Master Weaver and Spider Zero. The Master Weaver has suspended many islands near a massive energy rift in the sky. He plans on using the energy rift to empower the Web of Life and Destiny. Spider Zero believes that the rift will be too unstable and is trying to close up the rift for good. When she did this, the Master Weaver banished Spider Zero, and now she needs to make it back to close the rift. If you are a fan of the lore in the first chapter of Penny Parker, Spider Zero and Master Weaver were still working together at that point. So I believe in the future chapters we will find out why they start fighting and where their disagreement comes from. But for these maps, first we start with Shin Shibuya. On offense, you need to capture the point which will release Spider Zero from her suspended cage. Then, you guide her and the spider car to a Budokan, which is the National Martial Arts Arena at the end of the map. Once there, Spider Zero has set up a portal to teleport them to the islands in the sky. On defense, you are with the Master Weaver and the Public Eye. There is propaganda for the Public Eye everywhere we see, and the Alchemax building, where Steve Rogers was kept frozen during Black Widow's story, is seen on this map as well. During the map, I'm sure you've heard this voice. But, because of the constant action, it can be hard to notice that the Master Weaver appears on all screens and is the one taunting Spider Zero. If offense wins this map, we see a portal open up as Spider Zero and the Spider Car launches to Spider Islands. If defense wins, Master Weaver drops from the islands above and captures Spider Zero. And next, we go to Spider Islands. Now that Spider Zero has made it to the Spider Islands, she needs to bring the car throughout the island to the Web of Life and Destiny. As she moves through the stage, the energy rift is becoming less stable, which we can hear from various voice lines, meaning the only chance to close it is now. Once they make it to the Shrine of the Weaver, they can see the Web of Life and Destiny. And oh yeah, Master Weaver is on the web? I've never noticed this, probably because of all the gameplay that's happening and it's so distracting and fun, but I've never noticed the giant robotic spider person just chilling in the room. Anyways, if offense wins, we can see Spider Zero cast some web magic to close the rift. If defense wins, we witness Master Weaver harnessing the rift's energy to empower the web of life and destiny. Next, we're going to shift to the only Doom match stage, which is Sanctum Sanctorum. In this map, Doctor Strange is stuck in the astral plane, and the Sanctum Sanctorum is a little bit wonky because of the time stream entanglement and Doctor Strange's strange magic. Doctor Strange hid the Darkhold inside of the astral plane to get it away from Doom, but many people now want it, including Khonshu. Khonshu finds Strange in the Astral Sea, and Strange challenges him to a very old strategy game, and the winner takes the tome. Strange wins, but Khonshu still tries to steal it, which is when Wanda pulls Strange out of the astral plane to save him. But this accidentally rips many pages out of the Darkhold, scattering them across New York, leading into our next map, Midtown. This map takes place in the Eternal Night Chronoverse, which, as we all know, has been taken by Dracula and his vampires. But that's not who we are fighting against. The teams in this match are two groups of heroes who have different plans for how to fix New York City. If you are on offense, you are fighting for the Fantastic Four, which is made very clear by the giant holograms at the end of the long elevator ride down the Baxter Building. Mr. Fantastic sends Herbie in the Fantasticar to scan New York and bring back data so that they can locate all of the Darkhold pages. If you are on defense, you are fighting for Moon Knight and Iron Man's side. The intro shows your team hopping into an iron giant suit and flying to stop the enemy team when suddenly Dracula's minions cause it to crash into Grand Central Station. They need to stop Richards from completing the scan so that they can find the pages first. Why are they competing for the pages? Well, Moon Knight and Iron Man think that they can use the pages of the Darkhold to erase all vampires from the city by casting the Montesi formula. The Fantastic Four think that this is immoral, as it will kill all innocent civilians who are forcibly turned into vampires by Dracula. If offense wins, we see Herbie upload the data into the Baxter Building, which helps Wanda and Doctor Strange find the pages faster. By the way, Wanda and Doctor Strange agree with the Fantastic Four's plan, which is to fix the time stream entanglement first. If defense wins, we see Moon Knight destroy the Fantasticar and sending Herbie running away. The Darkhold pages still waiting for someone to collect them. Next up, we've got Symbiotic Surface. Symbiotic Surface is on the prison planet of Clintar. The Guardians of the Galaxy were sent by Wakanda to investigate Clintar and the darkness. Null is trying to become powerful enough to break out of his chains and needs a celestial soul. The Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as Venom, are on the defense side. If they win, it shows Venom taking over the convoy and destroying it. If offense wins, the convoy gets to Null's spirit and Null is released. Turns out, the cutscene with the Guardians of the Galaxy in it is when they lose. I wouldn't have guessed it, it seemed like they were winning, but I guess it's a little obvious if you look closely and realize what's happening. Next up, we've got Hell's Heaven. In Hell's Heaven, we are at 3 locations of a Hydra base in Antarctica. The poles of the world are acting very strange because of the time stream entanglement, and Bucky is sent to investigate Hydra, who seem to be taking advantage of it. Now, there are 3 separate maps, one where they make super soldiers, one where they create the super soldier serum, and one where they open a portal, releasing an evil tentacle monster. Classic. Yes, one of these has a much different theme than the others, as everyone can tell. And also, did you know that you can see the tentacle monster coming out of the doorway in the distance? I've never even noticed it at all. The doors open once the point is captured for the first time, and I bet you didn't know that. One animation shows a mind-controlled Bucky helping open the door, releasing the Kraken monster. The other animation shows the door crumbling to ruin as we save the world from the monster. The final maps we have to talk about is Burnin' T'Challa and the Hall of Djalia, which both take place in the intergalactic Wakandan Empire. Now, in this, The spirit realm, known as Djalia, is merging with Burnin T'Challa, as Shuri and other researchers tirelessly research how to fix the issue, while also helping Reed Richards build the time stream reintegration device because that's how talented Shuri is. T'Challa is attempting to bring the spirit of Bast, which is trapped in the chrono-vibranium statue, to the Hall of Djalia to stop the merging of the worlds and to stop Null from taking over. Burnin T'Challa has 3 stages to capture, which are Warrior Falls, Imperial Institute of Science, and Stellar Spaceport. The Stellar Spaceport is where the Guardians of the Galaxy left Wakanda and also just where spaceships land and take off. Warrior Falls has the classic look from Black Panther lore. Now sadly, I don't think either of these first 2 stages have too much story other than being awesome locations and being beautiful map design for a domination map. The Institute of Science is clearly where Shuri and the other scientists are doing research to help investigate what's happening with Djalia. I don't know what the objectives are or who the teams are fighting for. My best guess is one is fighting to help solve the science problem, and the other is trying to stop them. Ultimately, it's fine. It's a domination map. Both teams are just trying to capture the points. The map is awesome, and the main story is where T'Challa is at, which is the Hall of Djalia. We start the map with the offensive team trying to rescue the statue of Bast, and then leading it to the... Hold up, the statue walks? Yeah, again, a very clear detail that I never noticed is the statue has a walking animation when you're moving it. I thought it was just an actual statue, and then I noticed that there is this little glitter animation. Anyways, the statue has the actual spirit of Bast in it and moves. That's so sick. They need to take the statue of Bast to the Hall of Djalia to rid it of Null and stop him from taking over Wakanda. If offense wins, we see Bast take control of the hall and the darkness gets dispelled from the skyline. If defense wins, we see T'Challa kneel in a field of flowers as darkness takes the Hall of Djalia. That was all of the objectives and the story behind all of the maps in Marvel Rivals. I thank you guys very much for watching, and I thank my patron, or shall I say patrons, because I got a second patron, baby! So thank you to both patrons, Derek Bowman and Not Weston, which is definitely not me giving myself $5 a month to do this bit. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a nice day. Did you know that the panther walks on the I thought it was a statue. But it's a it's a hologram. What?
I know it was a hologram, I just didn't know it walked.
Yeah, check it out. It's walking.